What do you know about Stanley Cups?
So
Clearly not much.
I mean, the bad thing about Stanley Cups is that I have one. I didn't tell you that though.
New episode of the You're Not Wrong podcast, a podcast where a Gen Xer and a millennial, we talk about culture back then, culture right now, and tell you everything you need to know about it. Really deep dives. I'm still fleshing that out. Today
we didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh shit.
It's okay.
You can tell we're rusty. We're rusty. We're hella rusty. Okay, so as you could guess from that intro, my name is Elizabeth. I'm the millennial.
I'm Nicole, and I'm a Gen Xer.
And today's show, I want to talk about something that I don't understand and yet do understand. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does, actually, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think that's most of everything for me.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about Stanley. Stanley Cup. Not the hockey thing.
But isn't it related?
No.
They look the same.
Totally different.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go.
Do it.
So, what do you know about Stanley Cups?
So
clearly not much.
I mean, the bad thing about Stanley Cups is that I have one. I didn't tell you that though.
You did not tell me that. I was not aware. Okay,
yeah.
we're keeping secrets now. Okay,
I have a Stanley Cup. I got it for Christmas. My son bought it for me. I'm contributing to it.
I'm like legitimately shook.
I know. I ain't tell you. Why are you shook?
Why do you have one?
I don't know. That's the scary part.
Oh no! So basically, let me guess, not to cut you off, but like, it's my guess would be he like didn't know what to get you for Christmas, and so he got you a Stanley Cup because that's the rage.
The bad part about it was I was like, oh yeah, get me this.
It was you.
It was me.
Oh,
and
worse.
So it's so crazy because like when you told me you wanted to talk about it, I was like, why did I want that?
I don't think I actually told you I want to talk about this. I think I just sent you a picture.
You did, and
you
saw
knew
the one that I had on there.
Oh my god!
And it was like, okay, I needed a cup.
God.
I needed a cup, right? Because I don't have a thermos. Like I needed a new thermos. And so they were like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, I do need a thermos. And I think I kept seeing it.
Okay.
Which is a part of this whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kept seeing it. And I was like, you know what? Give me one of those Stanley Cups. And I was like, I want a green one. And so, because it was just an easy go-to for Christmas. And I actually did need a thermos.
Do you know how expensive those things are, though?
I didn't really know how much it was.
I'm about to tell you.
How much is it?
It's like $45.
Oh, that's not that bad. I thought it was like $70.
What are you talking? Pre-tax? That's insane. This is a water bottle.
Yetis cost like $50. Have you seen how much Yeti stuff costs? Quality factor is significant.
So you feel that the quality is there?
It is there, but it has one big design flaw. And I don't know if you've read
that
up
it
on this
like
at
that
all.
it spills or something.
It spills.
Let's talk about that. Let's get into this.
Let's get into
and then I'm gonna have questions on that.
Okay, cool.
Because I was confused.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I had questions.
I now am not a Stanley devotee because I do not like
You
things.
weren't before,
No,
to be fair.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't.
You were never.
I just said something that I wanted because they were barraging me because I am their market.
They truly were. You are their market.
So again, I was talking to somebody about the psychology of crazes. Right? Has very little to do with quality, I think, and more to do with some sort of like psychological inundation of you feeling like you need this thing.
So why is everyone obsessed with them now?
I don't know.
Right? That's the question.
They're doing something to us. I'm serious.
They are, but it's not what you think, and it's probably what you already know they're doing.
Subliminally messaging us?
No, man. Okay.
What are they doing?
Who you have to blame for this is a person by the name of Terrence Riley.
What he do?
Good question. So in 2020, Terrence Riley became the president of Stanley.
I've actually seen an interview with him.
Genius, clearly.
Yeah,
after being the CMO, so Chief Marketing Officer, over at Crocs.
Yep.
And what
He
happened?
turned Crocs around.
Right. I was going to say, and what happened around the same time that Terrence was CMO is that Crocs went from being essentially, like, frankly, this ugly shoe. Like, no matter what you think of them, there was certainly a time. What, you know what's crazy though?
What?
I'm like having a moment where like a Matrix moment. It's like all coming in.
All the red dots are.
I was literally about to say
strings on the thing.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm about to have a board. I'm getting the red string out. This is what this is for. I was about to say that there was a time when Crocs was really, it was for those kinds of same group, right? Like I remember that it was my friends who those Tallahassee type blue collar people, like they worked, you know, you would find people who worked in like hospitality or like nurses because they were comfy, but then everyone else that I knew who had Crocs, they were like, it was because they were doing outdoorsy stuff.
I was about to say I have the same pair of Crocs that I had like when my son was born, because I would do like outside gardening and stuff like that. I have a pair of pink Crocs that I've had for that long.
So you're just like a hype beast.
I'm not.
Do you know what a hype beast is? Okay, I'm making sure.
We created that word. Well, I'm original. I'm an original because I didn't buy them for style.
That's what she says to make herself feel better.
I bought them because I was like doing shit outside, like gardening and doing yard stuff. To me, they were like yard shoes. And I remember I have a picture like when my kid was a baby and I accidentally like forgot to take my Crocs off and I went to Target. And I took a picture and I was like, I forgot to take my Crocs off. Because I would never go out of the house with Crocs on.
And that's exactly it, right? And so Terrence Riley, as CMO of Crocs, he kind of takes Crocs from being that type of like ugly, unfashionable. You wear them when you're doing something, but not necessarily when you're leaving the house, not in front of people, to being a fashion statement. You know, you see like there's photos of like, I think Kanye, the Bad Bunny did a collaboration, Bieber, tons of influencers. And that really...
That's all kids want to wear, by the way.
Right.
My son plays basketball in Crocs. I'm tired of Crocs.
And it was Terrence who knew... Terrence, like I know him. It was Terrence, my buddy Terry, who knew that really it was influencer marketing that could help kind of get you into new markets. And that's what they really did successfully with Crocs. And so when he joined Stanley as the president, he's already got that background and that experience of taking a brand that was formerly one thing and turning it on its head and making it completely something else and frankly a craze. And the Stanley company had already had somewhat of a dalliance with this. So in 2019, there was this influencer Instagram account called The Buy Guide, and they would tell people what to buy. Okay. And they had put Stanley on there, and they had started selling them, and they were seeing, and that specifically was for women, you know.
They started marketing it to women. Well, they're online on social media, so yeah.
Right. So they were marketing it to, you know, millennial age women and now younger. Yeah. But that was really their thing. So Stanley knew that there was you know, ripe soil there, so to speak. And then you bring in this guy Terrence, who clearly knows what he's doing, and you've got this recipe for where we are right now.
Hit the jackpot.
It writes itself. And so this laid out the path to success and showed that they could replicate the success that other brands had and that they had already had themselves by using influencers. Yeah. And now what else is going on at the same time, you know, in the last few years is we've got like influencer marketing is so strong between TikTok and Instagram. It's got a chokehold on you, you know? Yeah. But before I kind of get into more of the like specific TikTok stuff that I'm sure everyone's probably seen. See, I haven't. I've been very offline the last few months.
Why?
I've been busy, and I've also been doing that thing where I'm like, oh, why don't I like do something else? Why don't I like, I don't know,
might be better for me
crochet
than just
something
being online all the time.
Yeah,
just dead scrolling.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is kind of the mood I'm in. Yeah, you know, we come in and out of that. It's not even a judgment thing. Like we all go through it. Yeah. But have you heard of Water Talk?
Yes.
Okay, good, because we're about to have a little segue. So let's zip-de-doo-dah over to Water Talk.
I'm scared.
So Water Talk starts in like spring 2023 is when Water Talk becomes like really big.
Mormons? Sorry.
No, yes and no.
Okay.
Like no, but yeah. Like, it's like MLMs. Aren't they all Mormon? It's like no,
but yeah.
But yeah. Like kinda no, not really yes. So Water Talk, what do you know about Water Talk? Let me ask you.
Oh my God. Oh, it's making me nervous.
You can say what you want.
Water Talk is real crazy. They're like literally taking water and putting all this shit in it. All these powders and flavorings. Like, you know, the little meal things, which I think are gross. Like flavoring up water when they could have just made Kool-Aid. That's like more normal. But they're doing like this weird Kool-Aid concoction and making all these weird water flavors. When basically it's not water any longer. It's like this preservative, additive drink.
You are being real judgy.
I know.
Huh.
I don't care.
Okay. Your
like,
prerogative.
I mean, just drink some water.
Fuck. Okay. So
why can't you just drink water? Why do you have to put so much stuff in it?
Yeah. So, couple things about Water Talk. So, like Nicole mentioned, Water Talk is this moment. I mean, it's still happening. Like it hasn't gone anywhere that I know of. I think we just stopped talking about it. But Water Talk is, like you said, basically women on TikTok, mostly women on TikTok, making their water for the day. So when you're like, Elizabeth, make my water. Are they doing reverse osmosis? How could this be? No.
Make me some water actually is a thing.
Yeah.
But it's literally just putting ice in water and making it nice and cold.
I don't say make me water.
I know.
Is it probably a Southern thing or something? Yeah. Good question about the reverse osmosis. No, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they take,
basically what I just said.
A Stanley cup. They take a Stanley cup, right? Because it was a lot of the Stanley cups because you know what? Because it's the same damn target audience.
It's the same audience.
So they would do that and they'd put everything and they'd make basically a potion. That was making your water, was like putting just a bunch of shit in your water to make it taste better.
Yeah.
Now, there was a lot of controversy over Water Talk for a few reasons. And this is coming off the dome. So just like disclaimer, imagine it's here in front of me. Mileage may vary. This is what I remember from the Water Talk situation. 1, Water Talk was predominantly with women of a specific like socioeconomic class.
Yeah.
And it's okay. People were judging Water Talk a lot, similar to Nicole just did, right? Everyone was like, Water Talk so stupid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so controversies. 1, socioeconomic class, right? All these women are more blue collar, more Southern. Some of them were trad wives. Some of them is like some had money, some didn't have money. That was one thing. 2, of the ones that were like maybe not as privileged, they were it's like literally I hear myself and I'm like, Bridge, just say it. The ones who didn't have money, they were making these like essentially Kool-Aid knockoffs.
Yeah.
And people were judging them for that, and it's like, yo, let them fucking drink their water if that's what they want to do.
It ain't water no more.
Okay, but they're making let them do what they want.
I was also a lot of Mormons doing it because they can't drink alcohol. So.
Right. That was part of it too. Yeah. And then another part, and like another layer, and the layers just keep going. So I'll stop after this one. But another layer was that it was with a lot of women who, so if you've had any sort of like bypass surgery, you have to drink, and I didn't know this until Water Talk.
Electrolytes.
Yes, you have to drink a certain amount of water with electrolytes to keep your system kind of like at performance, so you don't get like, I guess, stopped up somewhere.
The ones that had bypass surgery.
And if you think about it, when you have to drink like 40 ounces of water, that's a lot of just water.
Well,
so,
are you talking about people who had fat loss surgery or heart surgery?
No, fat loss. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, like gastro bypasses and all the different ones. There's like 2 or 3. Yeah. But so for them, it's like, okay, they have to drink a toddler's worth of water. Yeah. They might as well add some things. I'm not going to judge them personally. I didn't really care about Water Talk at first. I was like, this is crazy, and then I was like, yo, do what you want. Do what you want.
There are worse things.
There are 100% worse things. There's people on heroin out there. I don't care what you put in your water. True. But Water Talk, so as you can see, it's like the Venn diagram of Water Talk to Stanley Cup.
Oh my God, they struck gold.
It worked perfectly. Plus, for all, like I said, when you are medically needed to drink a certain amount of water, the Stanley Cups come, like, they're so big and everything.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out, and it was that same exact market that kind of like sparked it, right? So think about it. You're a blue collar wife. You probably already have access to Stanley Cups because your husband probably has Stanley Cups. You drink from Stanley Cups. You need to do water. You make your water. You're on TikTok. You're making it in a Stanley Cup, right?
Damn.
So now we're buying. So there you go. So that was one part of the Stanley Cup craze, was water talk.
How did it end up affecting me?
Everybody, yeah. You see, you think you're far removed, and this is the problem with America, kids, is we think that we're so far apart, and you know what? We're not. We're not. We're all here. We're all affected.
I'm on the bin with these ladies, huh? Some kind of way.
Let this be a lesson to everyone.
I go to Applebee's.
We go to Hooters too.
I go to Hooters. They got me geoed. They geoed me.
I'm just saying, we all think we're so different. You know what? We're all a trailer away from being the same.
I mean, I am a little trailer parkish.
Everybody is, though.
I got a little bit of that in me.
Everybody is. That's what I'm saying. Like, we think we're all so different. We're not, bro. We're all the same. Anyway, kumbaya moment over. So how does it get there, right? Well, a lot of influencers start talking about the Stanley Cup. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Now, in November of 2023, there was a massive car explosion.
Yes.
And the girl whose car was exploded is a TikTok user named Danny Marie Lettering. She posted the wreckage of her car, like with the car fire and the explosion, all that stuff. The one thing that was still standing
was the damn Stanley Cup.
It was a Stanley Cup. And not only was it standing, that bitch had ice in it.
You know what, though, Elizabeth?
I can't wait for you to tell me.
That didn't move me.
Not yet.
It didn't move me.
Not yet.
It didn't.
Babe, this is the avalanche is forming, and you think that you're not going to get swept up. And you know what? You are. And you know how I know that? Because you have one.
But that one, I sit back and I say, I don't really care about that.
It doesn't have to affect you.
But it didn't move me to say, wow.
Right.
I need to get one of these Stanley Cups.
You're right. But what happens is the indestructibility of these Stanley Cups. If only Stanley could see it, William Stanley could see us now. It goes viral. And it was seen over 94 million times.
That's what it was.
So
it was the saturation of it. It's like I said, it's inundating me. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Yes, but it's not even just that one video, right? Because then what Stanley does, the company, not the man, he's dead, I presume. President Riley, our buddy Terrence, he offered to send her free Stanleys and a replacement for her car. So he bought her a new Mazda a month later, which of course she posted. So now everyone's like,
they're a benevolent organization.
Look at these amazing people. They bought her a car or whatever. So it might not have been that video that moved you, but that video definitely moved a lot of other people. And then next thing you know, everyone's getting Stanley Cups, and they're making more videos of them, and it's going more virals. So the latest, now there's been things in between, but I'm here for time. So the latest viral moment was for the exclusive Target drop for the Valentine's Day collection.
Its villain era.
I would argue we're always there.
The Stanley Cup has entered its villain era, which is close towards its downfall. But go ahead.
I don't know. But
it's on the other side of the arc.
Basically, so Stanley did exclusive drops through Publix and Starbucks.
Target.
Did I say Publix? Yeah, Target for their Valentine's Day collection. Yeah. So they're specifically their specific colors that are supposed to be limited edition. Yeah. Now, one thing,
the pink. I like the red.
But you know what it is? I just like red.
It's a vibrant red, which you didn't like. I feel like a part of the marketing is also the release of those colors, but anyway.
Yeah, and actually I was just gonna say I kind of skipped over this, but when Terrence comes on along the influencer stuff, he's also just really aware of like branding to women, and that buy gift guide, or those people that I talked about, the buy guide, they were actually I can't remember what article it was, but I read an interview with them, and they were talking about, and this is true, anyone who's in marketing knows this to be true. If you really want to control the money of a family, of a unit, it's not, even if you're selling men's items, it's the women that you have to market to.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they know that, Stanley knows that, and that's why when Terrence comes on, they start doing like specific colors for women, probably the green you have. Like they have new
the chartreuse
lines.
Was a big one.
Yeah, lines of colors that are more, and the photos are women, and
Yeah.
they're women in their kitchen, and they're women on, you know,
The
doing
gym's a
yoga. Yeah, exactly. So they're just aware that, and this has been the truth since
This is just
forever.
basic marketing.
Forever is that women are the consumers, whether they're in a family or whether they're single. Like women buy more, and women are
online more.
Women are main consumers. Yeah, like what man buys his own clothes, really? You know,
A lot of them do, but they definitely will confer with a woman.
Exactly. Right. It's women who control the purse, as crazy as that is. So anyway, the Target thing was wild. So this is a view of what happened in a Target, and it is like full Black Friday style. Target shoppers fighting each other.
Didn't they stand in line to get in?
Yes, I'm going to show you that next. But it was this, and then, like, it just pisses me off when, like,
Why?
like
Pissing you
the
off?
mindlessness of it all.
That's why I'm saying it's a psychological,
Like,
it's
bro.
a psyop.
The only thing I remember being even remotely close to this and again, it could be just I'm weird, but I remember like Harry Potter books.
There were lines for those.
When Harry Potter books came out, like the latest one that was coming out, it would be, and there's like a scene in Devil Wears Prada that I don't know if people like really appreciate, but she tells Anne Hathaway's character,
Okay.
Meryl Streep tells Anne Hathaway's character to go get her a copy of.
For her daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was super hard, right?
Yes.
But like,
and then
I don't know.
Up late at night or whatever with the book.
Yeah. I don't know if people will like fully understand like how like I'm shocked she didn't have to sell a kidney. Like it was so hard to get those books, and I remember like Barnes and Nobles or Borders would have lines out the door for them, but my dad would always go to Walmart.
And it would be there.
Nobody would even be in line. I remember one time I wasn't even expecting to get it. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna get this book. I'm gonna have to wait a week to get it. I'm not even pressed about it. I'm like, I'll read it later, because I read them super quick. I'd read them in a day. And we were about to leave for vacation, and my dad comes into the room and he's like, hey, I got you something. And I was like, what? And he goes, and it was the Deathly Hallows. It was the last book. And I was like, or no, it was the Half-Blood Prince. I was like, what? How'd you get this? I was losing my mind. I was like, how did you get this? Like, who did you kill for this? And he was like, oh no, I went to Walmart and there was just like a whole wall of them. No one was there.
That's so funny. That's so
mind blown. My mind was blown. I was like, what? That's the level that I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, growing up, there were things like this. This whole phenomenon started during my time. Beanie Babies.
Yeah, I saw someone say this is like the Beanie Baby craze, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
It was ridiculous. I mean, but we've had other, like, this has been happening
Black
since the
Friday.
80s.
But like, I feel
we've had the Cabbage Patch Kid was one. I mean, people would be fighting, trying to get these things, and like Beanie Babies, I think, was when people were like, hold on, what is happening here? Why are people getting so obsessed with this, like, seemingly minimal, like not even that important of a thing? The Cabbage Patch Kids, maybe you could kind of see because it was for your kid. They really wanted it, for Christmas.
Kind of like that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What?
Jingle All the Way.
Yes, but
yeah.
So maybe, and then the Cabbage Patch could be a collector's item, but like a Beanie Baby was stupid. It was
they are collector's items now.
I know, but like just the thing that it is, why are you fighting people and like scheming and scamming to get this thing? I don't know if this happened before my time. Like, I don't know if like in my parents' time in the 60s and 70s, if there was a thing like that. I don't think it was. I think this is like a new modern marketing phenomenon. But anyway,
could be. It could very well be. I'll say this. There's something about at least when it's like Black Friday and you're going for like a TV or something and you're gonna kill and like scheme. TV. Okay, I mean, I'm not for that. I think that's also crazy, but okay, sure, I'll give you that. You want a $45 cup for your water, but then like they don't even. There have been reports of people fighting, so we'll get into that next. I'm not gonna say that's not happening, but in the videos that I've seen, it just feels like very zombie-like. They run towards it, they pick it up off the thing, and then they leave, and I'm like, yo,
like they don't even know why. They're
like you saw that video, and they're just like,
they don't even know why they're doing it.
I'm like, bro, unplug, my dude,
something in the
chill.
Marketing.
So the question I think after seeing all that is are they really that good? Like, what are we doing?
So I will say it is not, and it's mainly because of the spill factor. Like, literally, if it's not in my cup holder, which sometimes I have two things in my cup holder, so then I do put the Stanley cup in the passenger seat. But
can you explain the spill thing to me though? Because I don't understand.
The cup has a straw which is situated in it. It doesn't bend. It's just straight up. And so if the cup falls over, water comes out of the straw.
Oh, but it's not coming.
Like it shouldn't have a straw. I feel like it should have a thing that closes,
like other
Yeti. Yeah, or like other insulated cups have like a little thing that goes over it.
Yeah.
But I did hear someone say that you can buy stoppers for the straw.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Which is dumb.
They're going to let you
thing over the top of my straw.
If they can accessorize it, they'll sell it.
Right. They also have charms.
So does Crocs.
Yeah, well, they have charms for the Stanleys now.
That became a big thing with the Crocs. Terrence is just, he's like, here's the blueprint. We're just gonna
rinse and repeat.
I wonder what brand he'll choose next. What's next? Shotguns? Like yellow vests or orange vests?
Like he's definitely going into the woman realm.
No, but I think his success is
taking
male products and making them for women.
Ooh.
That's his angle.
Because I was going to say, well, Uggs is already out the door, but yeah, he does take
that's what I'm saying. Is it going to be like...
and feminizes them.
Like, those like hunter vest? Like, what is a man's item next? Anyway, so are they that good? You're saying no?
No, I don't like the spill feature. I do not feel as though that thing should be doing that. They should have engineered something where the straw only goes down so far, maybe. And what? I know how to design stuff. The straw only goes down so far, and so that if it falls over, the liquid does not automatically come out of the straw. The spill feature is an issue. It is. Now, they did great with this cup holder thing, and it is quite insulated. But the spill feature makes me just want to go back to just buying plastic water bottles.
Well, okay. I mean, I have nothing to add because I don't have one. I've never tried one out.
Yes, I've now been testing it out since Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. Not only, I guess the spill factor, take that into consideration. If you, who has been watching this for the last hour, you are considering a Stanley Cup. Think about that. But they are durable as fuck.
They are. I'm very clumsy and I haven't dropped it yet, but first of all, you can beat somebody with it. I do know that.
I believe
it doubles as a weapon.
And it has a handle.
So you can get a good clump if you need to. And another thing, like at the gym, I felt it could be a gym cup, but I'm also concerned about that open straw. That straw is not my favorite
straw.
Thing. I don't really like that straw.
So, yeah, that's quality wise. It sounds like they're good.
They're good.
There's got some design flaws potentially.
Yeah.
That kind of leads us to the next thing. Are they that good for consumers? For consumerism? And I mean, I don't know, man. That's where this kind of goes back into that thing, right? Because is it good for us to be having these crazes?
No.
I don't know, man. Something's broken. What is wrong with us?
I'm telling you, something is wrong with I feel like it's the frequency. And this sounds really tinfoil hat of it all, but there's something.
You've been on that lately.
I have. Because I feel like the frequency in which we see things has changed so dramatically that our like still not quite evolved brain is not able to process it. So because we see things so much, and because we're online so much, something in our brain is making us think that we have to have it.
And it also, I've never been much of like a collector, but it does seem like, are you aware of the Ray Dunn stuff that's like in TJ Maxx's? It's like white ceramic house stuff, like vases and mugs
with like the little word sketch.
Yes,
on it.
You've seen it. You don't know what the
I've had
yeah
it.
yeah
I have had some of that.
Right, but like there's people who like collect them all.
Yeah.
And so they'll have like a chest full of like all the ones from this collection or that, and that's kind of this. I think that's where it gets like. That's where it's like crazy. Like if everyone was just buying like one Stanley Cup and then next thing you know they never had another one. Like one I remember from childhood was like the Tamagotchis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You only needed but one though.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna have like 8 Tamagotchis that you're gonna take care of. Like that's crazy.
But you only need one Stanley Cup. Like I don't have
that's my point.
For 2 or 3 of these big ass cups.
Right.
First of all, I thought it was patterned after the Stanley Cup thing that people win at the hockey.
That's
because
wild.
It looks like it.
That is
and it's
wild.
Huge.
That is insane.
This is how little I knew about this thing that I said I wanted. So yeah, like you don't need that much, and I think. I am not much of a collector either, but I do appreciate a good, I appreciate a valuable good, right? Mm-hmm. And not necessarily something that's like designer, but like I do appreciate some, like ceramics, like Mackenzie Phillips was sort of along the lines of what you're talking about, where it's like this houseware items that people buy, and it might cost you a little bit more, but you keep it and you can pass it down to people. So I do kind of tap into some of that, but the problem I have is that some of this stuff that we're going crazy over is not even all that quality made.
Yeah.
So why are we going crazy over it?
Right. I mean, it's not. We're going crazy, and we're buying full collections, and everyone wants to blame capitalism, and okay, fine, but we're the ones partaking in it. Like you can't blame the system for asking you to buy something. Right. You're the one who's not buying one but 30. Yeah,
right. And fighting people and lining up
and showing
at
up
4 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it's to me, I don't even care. But have your cups, make your water, do your thing, whatever. It's not my business.
Yeah.
But the mindlessness that you see in people just like needing to collect like 5, 10, 50, like it's like, bro, they're the same cup that you spent $50 on in just a different color.
But let me pose this. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that certain people will never really have what America deems as like
the American dream,
wealth and the American dream, and these little items like this are their way, of getting ahead or having some sort of like status?
I think before when you started out, I kind of was like, I thought you might be going down the like keeping up with the Joneses thing, not so much the American dream thing. I don't know that. That's a really good question. That is a really good question. I do think part of it is a keeping up with the Joneses of it. Like, oh, well, so-and-so has a cup. Like, not to call you out, but like kind of your situation where you're like, I don't know what to get me, son. Go ahead and get me a Stanley Cup. Because that's, everyone's got them. And
moms and people at the gym have Stanley Cups.
Right. So I think there's an element of that. With the collection, I think my first gut instinct was that there's a level of like competition. You want to be the first one in the store. You want to be the one that gets the special edition.
But that gives you value too that you don't have elsewhere.
Right. So that's why I'm like mulling over your question of like, is it because it's like achievable when you feel like maybe you can't achieve like a greater goal?
Exactly.
If that's true, and it very well could be. It could be.
I feel like that's the psychological thing that these companies tap into, and really good marketers and people like Terrence understand.
I think it's potentially, yeah. I mean, what they're overall selling is a lifestyle. Being included in a group. And that's why yes, a lot of the pictures, a lot of the marketing is about like the cup. you know, you see a still of the cup, but a lot of it also is an influencer that you like, that maybe you aspire to be, or it's a woman at the gym that or
looks like somebody you want to look like, or that's
or in the kitchen that you'll never have. Right. Yeah, I'm sure there's part of that. I don't know though that like the only reason I guess I'm stuck on the American dream, or like I keep saying that wasn't exactly what you said, but like the only reason I'm stuck on that is because I don't know that like when things were more attainable that wasn't true.
I agree, but I think even then there were people who couldn't attain, that still fell below, and there was this thing that they could have, because I feel like the group of people who really drive these things are not wealthy people, or people who even have the time and like the wherewithal to say, why am I standing in line for the Stanley Cup? Like,
right.
Just, let me just get this. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, but what's crazy about that, and this has been also been true of like American trends since forever, is that a lot of the things that are trendy start at the lower levels of like the socioeconomic ladder, and they kind of work their way up, which we can take Crocs as like the first, like, the parallel example to this is like Crocs started, like I said, hospitality, nursing, not to say there's anything wrong, obviously, but you're not Justin Bieber.
Right.
And then slowly it worked its way up. So there's like a weird aspect, I think, also in like, it's like an Ouroboros in a sense, like a snake eating itself, because like the wealthy eventually
catch on,
try to emulate the poor are doing, and the poor are trying to emulate. In this case, I mean, I think there's it's hard because also like Water Talk, I don't think was trying to be anything that it wasn't.
But I think Water Talk was a certain group of people too who had the ability to have some influence that they didn't before. Because these women who were doing this, I wouldn't look to them for anything other than this oddity of Water Talk.
Yeah, but even Water Talk, which spurred on the Stanley craze in many ways, Water Talk was made fun of by most mainstream America, was
a subset,
put down, and no one's trying to emulate Water Talk. So I don't know. I think you pose a really interesting question. I'm sure there's a lot more there psychologically, but I don't know. I guess where I'm stuck is like, I don't know that it's anything necessarily different than how we've always behaved in the marketplace.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely stokes the fire when like, my friends come over and they see my Stanley Cup wall versus I can post it on TikTok or Instagram and people, So I think that stokes it for sure, because now your audience isn't your neighborhood, but like
you can become an influencer and you can have all these people liking and giving you validation with a $45 cup.
That's inexpensive. You say it like it's not expensive. And
listen, that ain't even gonna get it done, because you need like 3
of them to
really be an influencer. But that's better than having to go buy a Benz and some sort of designer purse and like live that life every day, when I can just go buy, eventually get all the Stanley Cups in all the colors for $300.
That's true, and that's kind of how it is with the Ray Dunn people, right? Because they end up having all the mugs.
$7.99, $11.99 at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, but
you have to have 3,000 of them.
I can get them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, a lot of food for thought, I think there.
I think so too.
Yeah, so now that's everything about Stanley Cups that I've got so far. Who knows where we go from here, because I don't know that it's slowing down much.
You just made me think maybe I shouldn't have left mine in the car. What if somebody like breaks it and steals it? You never know these days. People wilding.
Honestly, I mean, yeah, maybe. This is a decent neighborhood. I think
I'm not against the neighborhood. I'm just like, damn, don't leave the Stanley Cups in the car, people.
Yeah, people, I mean, who knows? It's just like a sleeper cell moment. Like Manchurian Candidate. They just see the cup and then they go, ooh. They're just like...
I am legend.
Yeah, just trying to get in there. You're gonna go to your car and there's gonna be like 10 people outside like, Stanley.
We thought COVID was gonna turn people into zombies, but it's actually the Stanley Cups.
It might still be COVID.
but it might be in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, COVID helped. COVID helped.
COVID
but
did push us in that direction.
So yeah, well, if you if you got this far, okay, like the video, subscribe, do all the shit you're supposed to do, and leave us a comment. Like, do you have a Stanley Cup? Do you like your Stanley Cup?
What color is it?
Will you buy one? Does anything I said concern you? Like, yeah, we want to know what's going on with these cups.
Why do you think they're so popular? What's your theory?
Let us know, and thank you for listening.
See ya. Woo.